Let's move on because we have like some more important stuff to talk about, especially because she's in the studio with us, and that's Tracy Hanby from Gigs Island, and she knows everything about music.
I know one or two things, all right. I wouldn't say I'm an expert. No one's an expert, but I'm learning as I go.
Yeah, I think you're a bit of an expert.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have Gigs Island. Did you set that up yourself?
Gigs Ireland came about, 3 years ago now. It was actually originally called Gigs Navan, because I live in Navan, and it set about as a bit of an experiment to find out what was happening in the area gigs-wise, because I found myself free at the weekends to start going to music gigs.
Okay.
It was a bit of a passion of mine, and my little girl was spending her weekends up at her dad's, so kind of said, well, now that I have this new arrangement in my life, I need to find an outlet, a passion. So music was that. So I set the page up to kind of track the local musicians, find out where they were going, instead of having to go door to door and have a little peek in. I saw you last Friday, I don't want to see you again, I want to go to another. It was a bit of a, walking around the different venues, having a little peek in, and I was going, there has to be an easier way than this. It's all modern day technology. So Facebook was Gigs Navan, and the thing went viral. So I was like, okay, people are
so obviously people
interested.
The idea.
Yeah, even just the name Gigs Navan. So then from that, a lot of people started contacting me going, oh, you must know about this, that and the other. I hadn't.
And was it at the start, it was all about Navan chat?
It was just about Navan, and it was just about trying to go to a gig and not fall on the same doorstep as,
try
say,
and catch
the
something
Watmans.
different.
And then I was like, okay, scratch my head going, this guy could do something with this, and get the venues on board. And then it became Gigs Ireland, which
amazing.
Kind of escalated a little bit.
How many
years
later or months later?
It was a year later.
Right.
It was a year
That's
later, and
very
that's
quick,
when it was. This is becoming a business. This isn't just a little hobby page now. So it became an event management, because I was getting knocks on doors by local venues, by musicians, and different charities, everything. And I was like, they were asking me to help out, and I was like, oh, I'll help out and see if I like this. Maybe it's something I can, do. Ended up, yes, it was obviously a bit of a talent there. So I'm not qualified in anything. What I'm qualified in is as a nurse and a midwife.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, so
Completely
that's
different.
even more the stranger kind of
then
part.
again, it does work, because when you go to all these gigs, just in case something happens, you can help
I'm
out.
the trained health professional.
You can double over.
Yeah, you can put two and two together.
Yes, actually, at my resident venue in the Central, that actually did happen one night.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I do come with many God, I feel like, what's his name, out of Only Fools and Horses.
I don't
a
know.
bit of a Del boy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it became a bit more than the Gigs and Avon page. And yeah, I'm very much, the Irish music scene is very much my passion. Like, I'm all about trying to help upcoming Irish artists. Not so much at the very beginning, but probably the transition point from trying to get themselves known. So I know who I'm looking for. I'm fairly selective, and they're the ones that I really champion alongside everything else that Gigs Ireland
And who
does.
do you have your eye on at
the moment? Well, Jemison Green,
Right.
two of which are actually from Meath, Shane and Ronan. But Jemison Green are doing really well at the moment, and they've just got a support slot with Alabama 3 this weekend.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so
Alabama 3 is a good band.
they're doing really well, and I would be in the background helping along there. Michael Brunnock is from Kells. They all have a Meath connection, which is even more stranger.
Do you do that on purpose?
No,
or
it's like
the way it happens?
coincidence, and because it's like word of mouth. Oh, you need to get in contact with Tracy, and then turns out that there's a local connection, and it's bizarre. Like, Michael Brunnock is he's from Kells. He lives in New York. He's been there about 12 years now, and he's recorded with the likes of Glenn Hansard, and he's worked on a film with Sean Penn.
Nice,
and David Byrne from Talking Heads wrote the film score, and he was the vocalist for 6 of the songs. So that one of the songs won an award. So these kind of artists that there's an international element as well, because I think Gigs Ireland is going to be hopefully the bridge between the Irish that have left coming back, and then also those coming into the country, so maybe from Canada and America. There's one of the guys that I have worked with in the past is Paulie Fagan. He's doing well. He lives in Canada. And there's loads of others. It's an interesting journey because I get like tweets, Twitter. I've had Brian Byrne contact me in the past, and I helped out Peter Gabriel's daughter.
Awesome, yeah.
And her partner, Adam Matheson, were just on a little brief visit to Meath, so helped them out. So sometimes some mad things happen like that, but I'll only ever talk about it after it's happened because I am very confidential with who I work with. It's not about me, it's about them. Yeah. But then I have my own stuff going on as well, so it's not just that it's all about these musicians and bands.
You have your life.
I have a life and I have a career too, and I'm DJing now and I'm running events. I have a really, really important event, and I'm glad that you invited me on because one that I really, really have to get as many people behind, and all they have to do is grow facial hair.
Right.
It's from November.
Oh, amazing.
Right? And it
I'm trying. I've been trying since last November. But it's just not happening.
Yeah. It's just women. And well, you know what? I have fake moustaches for women.
That will work.
So women
I take
can
that one.
get involved. But basically, on the 30th of November is my big fundraiser. But it also is the marking of Gigs Ireland. Gigs Ireland came about on officially as a business on the 1st of December last year, and I did the Movember fundraiser, and it was packed. There was on-site shaving and waxing. We had music, and it was just mayhem. But we raised €1,000. So I'm really up on the bar this year. I really want for the one event, and the event is the night.
Right.
But I want as many people growing facial hair as possible, and as part of the team. The team is called Movember Central, and I'm really putting my pressure on. I'd love to get up around the 2,000 mark this year.
Nice,
you know, for the Irish Cancer Society in November. Because at the end of the day, because I am a nurse and a midwife, I do have always a passion for the health scene, and men, they're not so good at coming forward.
No, they
for
are
help.
not. They're not good at coming forward with anything, to be honest.
No. Yeah, even when it comes to the love matters. Yeah.
They need some encouragement.
Yeah, they need a lot of encouragement.
But do you know the venue?
The venue is in the Central.
Oh, the Central.
Which is
Okay,
where I'm
super.
resident. So, yeah,
Super.
it's all pretty cool.
And how can we get in contact with you, Tracy?
Well, it's pretty easy. I have a website, gigsireland.ie. I have email, contact Tracy at gigsireland.ie. And also Facebook. Facebook's where it's at. And Twitter, you found me on Twitter.
Yeah. It's gigs_Ireland.
Yes. Gigs_Ireland. I couldn't get Gigs Ireland, actually. I don't know what the reason
Somebody
being
else
is.
has it.
But yeah, somebody else has
somebody
it.
has.
So I went with the cool underscore because I reckon that was just
I think
cool.
it adds pizzazz to the whole Twitter.
And finally, where do you see it, say, 5 years? Where would you like to see it?
Oh, Lord. Well, I'm just really focusing in on the journey and enjoying every opportunity that's coming my way. So I'm not jumping way ahead. I have to be careful. It's only me that's doing Gigs Ireland, and I can get carried away with myself. And, you know, I have got an event coming up, my first ticketed event, which is Michael Brunick. He's going to be in the Central. So that is a big deal for me. But I'm not going to suddenly start doing loads of mad ticketed events. I need to be careful. Only me at the end of the day, and slow journey forward is the way forward. You never know. In 5 years' time, I might be happily married with kids and not doing this anymore.
Having to pass on the baton.
Exactly. It would be very nice to create something that someone would take on, and then I can live happily ever after. Queen of my castle.
Anyone want to get in contact with Tracy Hamby, do that over Twitter, Facebook, the email address gigsireland.ie.
Sure, if you put it into Google, it will pop up.
Grow your facial hair starting now, so it's going to be a biggie. It's going to be big.
Well, I hope it's going to be big.
You don't want to miss it.
And get down to the Central, and also for Michael Brunick.
Yes, Michael Brunick.
For his gig, Hellfest event. So support that.
Can I just mention that Dem Fools from Dublin?
Right.
They're an Irish reggae band. They're actually giving me big support for the night they're coming down, and they're playing at the event. So it's really cool. So there's an appeal there for the Dublin crowd to get involved.
Dem Fools. We're going to be there, Louise. You and I. We have to be there.
Lovely, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, we get the fake moustaches. Thank you, Tracy Hanby, for coming on into the studio as well. Thank you.